All right. Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier eye hypnosis coach and your personal guide. So today's pod is really special. One is, of course, because this is just a reminder to me. Here I am, past the day that was. What I mean by that is, right now we are technically on Friday, and usually for those, especially for those of you who follow along regularly, you know that I record a daily pod, and so technically I've already moved into Friday, which means technically there was no pod on Thursday. But for me, I set this and I made this contract with myself literally now closer to 2 years ago that whatever happens before I go to bed, I will record my pod. And this one contract has stayed true for me. And no matter what, I've made it a point to record my pod. Sometimes earlier in the day, sometimes later in the day, sometimes like this when it's past 12. Of course, this doesn't happen every single day, but there are the one off times when it can happen, when it has happened. Maybe I've been traveling or whatever it is. So the reason why I bring this up is because, especially as we're talking about habits today and habits that stick, um, I've noticed there are three types of habits that I have been, in the process of building. I won't even say I've been trying to build it. I've been in the process of building it. And interestingly, this habit, this is, I would say, my 20%, which means this 20% habit gives me like 80% of my results. There's another kind of habit, which is more to do with my health, more to do with, building the habit of, uh, going to the gym. And interestingly, this is the other end of if you look at, a bell curve, there's the 20 on this side, 20 on that side, and the middle is the 60%. So this is kind of more on the other side of the bell curve, which means the 20. That means when it happens, it happens. When it doesn't, it doesn't. And I'll talk about it in a second, okay? Because since last October, I made it a point. In fact, it finally became evident to me. And some of you might remember in December of last year, I decided to do the 100 push-ups, 100 days. And in an interesting way, I definitely completed more than 100 push-ups per day uh, on an average when I got to around the 100th day. So essentially, in about 3 months, I was able to go way beyond 100 push-ups. Um, and I think I ended up at about 12 or 14,000 push-ups. Of course, I was able to, find a way around it. And interestingly, it was a habit which worked when it worked. And then, of course, it's like when I look back, one of the things that I didn't do was I didn't contract with myself that whatever happens, whether it's first thing in the morning, whether it's last thing in the day or in the night, that I am going to do it. Right. And so when I think about it now, I know that's one of the reasons why that habit did not tick, did not stick, let's say. Right. It worked when it worked, which was amazing. There were certain days I would do like 100, 150, 200, 300 push-ups. Of course, like I said, there was a hack to it, which is I did, what I call micro push-ups, which is basically like really short bursts, quick push-ups. So it's not the conventional kind of push-up. But to me, it was more of just seeing how this would help me not only build the habit, but also make the habit stick, which worked when it worked, and then it didn't, right? A third kind of habit was, again, in the context of, creating content. And as some of you may know, I've already, done more than 150, I think, 150 stories of people who are, leaders, people who are teachers, and people who are content creators. So these are people who have really figured out the internet. They've got, pretty good following. They've been able to, grow their own movements. But my intention was basically to highlight them, to showcase them. And that continued for, so when I say it's about 150 50 odd posts. I think it's about 150 journeys. So on average, that's about, I think, 4 to maybe 5 months of being able to consistently post one post a day. Uh, and then, of course, there was the podcast also that I did. When I did it, I made it a point to do 2 podcasts every week. And so I got to 2 months. I did, 16. So I've technically, if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see that I do have, um, you know, um, 16 at the time of this recording. I do have 16 YouTube lives, and the same lives were obviously, using software. I was able to edit them and create podcasts. So there are 6 of them that have been uploaded with, the editing and the subtitles and things like that. So as I look at it, there are, like I said, there are 3 kinds of habits, right? If you really want a habit to stick, one thing I can tell you is just pick one, right? Everything else that you get beyond that is a bonus. Everything that you get as a result of doing those additional habits are bonuses, are gifts. If you think of it as, if you are the kind of person that loves to get and to be given gifts, then it's totally fine. And also know that some of these gifts will come and go, right? It's like Christmas comes once a year, our birthday comes once a year, and there are other moments in your year where you will get gifts. And so therefore it's good when it's working, and that if it doesn't, then it just means that you're able to kind of look at, okay, how do I make this more manageable? How do I make this more stickable? Whether that is in the context of your work, especially if you are a digital healer coach. And, this is, of course, the eye hypnosis healer coach speaks, which is basically me talking to you in a solo pod. And, this, on the other hand, is the kind of habit that has stuck throughout. Because if you ask me what's the lesson that I've learned, is that when you make your habits simple, when you make your habit, have the minimal number of moving parts, it will stick. And when you make that contract with yourself that I will do it, say, for example, if you want to do it every day, say that I will do it every day and stick to it. Um, this is literally, as I look at it now, this is the secret that I have learned over, whatever, 500 plus days of doing this. And on the other hand, be open to the idea that over a period of time, you will also test out, you will also, see what additional habits you can add. Some of them may stick, some of them will stick, but there are a lot of them that will sort of like come and go. And as long as you are willing to be at peace with that, you are truly onto something. Because again, the important thing here is, I'm telling you this after about maybe 6 months since I started a couple of these other habits. The the 500 journeys, like I said, we're at about 140, 150, if memory serves me right. We've definitely done 3 months. Okay? Actually, technically 4 months. We've definitely done 4 months. It's somewhere between the 4 and the 6 month mark. With the 100 push-ups, 100 days, again, I know I went beyond 100 days. I think I did about 120, 150 days, something like that. Okay. Uh, so there are definitely benefits from that. And more than anything, I know that when I restarted, which is literally in the process of happening right now. And here's the thing, when you start adding more habits, there are times when some of these habits will, um, it's like life will kind of challenge you, right? So maybe there'll be something happening in your life which will kind of make you question, make you wonder whether you can follow through or not on all of your habits. But as long as you make it a point to have at least one habit that is like a go no go, right? No matter what, I'm going to do it. Whether you say, and for me, I say for simplicity's sake, whether if you decide to do it every day. Now, for some of you, maybe it is fitness, where you're like, no matter what, I will. I remember there was a friend of mine uh, who, no matter what happened, whether it is morning or evening, or night, it did not matter. Like she had set upon for herself that she would walk, and she did that. Okay? Um, there was a friend of mine for many, many years who, no matter what, whether even if it was 3 in the morning, he would floss his teeth. And one thing I can tell you is that more than the habit itself, you are teaching yourself something that is very magical. And I know that the results differ from person to person, but over a period of time, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, think of it like you are actually investing in yourself. And like, I'm sure you've heard about the power of compounding. A lot of those benefits do not happen in the short run, meaning in the first maybe 6 months, even maybe in the first 2 years or 3 years, you may not see benefits. If you do, it's a bonus, right? Like I've seen some pretty, uh, pretty sizable benefits of doing this pod every day, um, ever since October of 2022. So just a reminder to you as well that do this. Pick one, whatever that one thing is, and just do it. And to keep it simple, like I said, simplicity is the key. It needs to be simple. It needs to be something that is well within your control. So, for example, there are times when I'm not able to record like this at my home studio, but I still 99.9% of the time I still have my phone with me, and I'm able to take out my phone and do a live, right? I may not convert that into a pod, but I still, stick to the contract that I made with myself. So I know this has been a slightly different pod, but it just felt, today just felt absolutely right to share this with you and to remind you, especially as a digital healer coach, somebody who either you're already on the journey, which means you know the power of healing, you know the power of coaching, and you've experienced it in your own life, and you are now at that point where you want to make this available to other people. So maybe you're that kind of a healer coach, or maybe you're at that phase right now where you yourself are learning, um, and benefiting from the power of healing in your own life. Either ways, I can tell you this, that you have already seen, you have already tasted something that's truly magnificent. And if you really want to be able to do this for the long haul, for the long run, and in the long run, then pick that one habit. Doesn't matter what habit it is, pick one positive habit that really does make you feel good, really benefits you. And of course, as a add-on, if it is benefiting one other person, three other people, five other people, the habit will grow with time. Okay? So look forward to hearing your comments. Look forward to hearing what you got out of this. Right? And especially if you have reached this point of the video, definitely big shout out to you. And also do tag me, do share this with somebody who you know who can benefit. And most importantly, do write in the comments, what is this one habit that you yourself have been now nursing and nurturing for, you know, so maybe just mention the name of what's the habit that you're nurturing, and also how long you've been now able to consistently keep the habit going. Okay, so with that, of course, I will be back with many more of these daily pods, and I really do look forward to seeing you in future pods. And if you are interested in being part of a community that has people who, like me, who like us, are um, really interested in healing, interested in coaching, either for your own self or where you're at that stage now where this is something that you want to share with other people. I can tell you that having a community is a huge bonus uh, for you to be able to stay on the journey. Okay? So definitely reach out. There will be a link that you should see just in the comments. Click on it. There are several options in which you can, engage, get involved, be engaged with us. And of course, The simplest would be just join our Telegram group so you can stay up to date with all the things that we're doing. I do a couple of live sessions on Zoom with people from the Telegram group, people who are in the Telegram group, the eye hypnosis community. So look forward to seeing you there. And there are obviously several options that you can, you know, be even more connected to me, to us. So if that's something that you're looking for, definitely let me know. And look forward to seeing you in the next one. And of course, as always, remember to live with purpose. So look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a wonderful day ahead. God bless, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.